Well, Bob, it's great to be here with you in Motherwell. And you've been here as pastor of Motherwell Baptist Church for about 18 months or so. But the thing that really fascinates me is the cafe that's been started on a Wednesday. What's that all about?
I suppose it almost became a symbol of the church getting back on the road again. They tried to run a cafe before under previous ministries, and it had become when it all fell apart. The church sort of really, it was obvious that this was going to be a sign that we were on the road, and so we started this cafe again. But we really sensed from God that the way they started was not to have it as a cafe that was for, if you like, ladies with lunch or just run-of-the-mill competition with what's up and down the street, but that we should start something aimed to help those who are really needy in the community, and that we'd offer everything in the cafe for free. So teas, coffees, homemade soups, baked potatoes, toasties, other bits and pieces are all offered absolutely free. And we advertised it through the Citizens Advice Bureau, we advertised it through the mental health charities, into the homeless units in the town, and word soon got about. And coincident with the start of the cafe, the local food bank was needing a place to meet, or as a collection point. They had to move from somewhere else in Motherwell, and they asked, the manager's a member here, and he asked if they could use the church premises, and so we started that on a Wednesday at the same time. So folk who are coming to the food bank now can also get a free meal just in the cafe, and that's enabled us to reach a whole range of the community with addiction problems, with homelessness problems, with mental health problems, etc. And it's proving to be quite a profitable ministry in that way.
So what effect has that had on the congregation and the church, Bob?
Quite an amazing effect, because although it's a very small congregation and relatively older congregation, the ladies here who are now meeting with folk they would never have had a conversation with before, and even conversations happening outside the cafe itself, with meeting somebody on the street, taking them for a cup of coffee, even down to buying them some cigarettes when they're really struggling for stuff. We made a policy we'd never give away money to folk, but when somebody's picking up doubts in the street and a lady for the church meets them and bumps into them, says, "You can't be doing that, I've not got any fags," she went and bought them some tobacco and took them for a cup of coffee. And that kind of relationship that's being built up with what we would have been middle class ladies and gentlemen, now mixing and befriending, building relationships with folk who are really struggling in our community.
And does that make any effect on who turns up on a Sunday?
Yeah, it does. I think certainly some of the folk on a Wednesday have now come in. There's one family who reached us through the food bank initially, an African family, or an African Finnish family. the wife's from Finland, the husband's from the Ivory Coast, and their two children come. And there are three guys who are there virtually every Sunday now who all have issues of one sort or another, who we met through the cafe.
In a nutshell, Bob, just to close, what's all this got to do with the gospel?
Jesus said, "I came to serve and not to be served." And we have a real sense in Motherwell that that's why we're here, is to serve. And as Jesus served the woman who lost her son, or the woman who was thrown at his feet because she committed adultery, or the people who were struggling. So we're meeting people who are struggling and reaching out to them in that way, and that is the good news. Conversation beyond that, and some of the things that we would maybe have said were good news in years past, or were the only good news, we're finding it's far broader term than we've ever imagined. And the good news is the kingdom of God, and that's what we're trying to be.
Bob, the Lord continue to bless and prosper you, protect you and enable you. To his glory, you and the folk of the church.
Thank you.